Right now, we're seeing new video tonight showing the devastation that Hurricane Ida left behind.
Plus, breaking news, all Americans have officially withdrawn from Afghanistan, bringing an end to that country's longest war.
And later, a special school board meeting tonight, possibly leading to one of the state's first public school vaccine mandates for teachers. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. And first, that breaking news within the last couple of hours, the last U.S. airplanes have left the country of Afghanistan, ending America's longest war. Taliban reports say 5 final flights took off just before midnight there, ahead of the August 31st deadline, which would have been 3 o'clock this afternoon our time. General Kenneth McKenzie, commander of the U.S. Central Command, told reporters the U.S. believes it was able to evacuate the vast majority of Americans who wanted to leave, but it was aware of some who could not depart. And McKenzie says the effort to bring home remaining Americans will now fall on diplomatic channels. And the other story dominating the headlines this afternoon, Tropical Storm Ida still on the move, causing dangerous flash flooding in parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Ida made landfall in Louisiana yesterday as a Category 4 storm. At least one person has died because of this storm, and we expect to learn, sadly, of more deaths as search and rescue efforts continue throughout the day. Heavy rain pounded the state for hours, causing severe flooding, bringing a punishing storm surge and widespread power outages that may last weeks in the hardest hit areas. And as daylight came, damage to buildings clearly visible in New Orleans, collapsed walls left bricks and debris on the ground and exposed interiors of buildings at several sites across the city. In some cases, roofs were missing and buildings were reduced to rubble. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell said the worst case scenario did not happen and New Orleans did not have another Katrina. The mayor of Slidell says workers are going block to block throughout that city to assess damage and make sure all the residents there are okay.
We had to deploy boats at 4 o'clock this morning and do water rescues. We took about 15 people off the roofs of their homes.
A lot of people had hunkered down in the houses since last night, so they're just getting pulled out of the houses today.
These are photos along the coastline in Grand Isle, where they were one of the cities that was first to be hit by the storm yesterday. You can see the widespread devastation and flooding making most of the homes uninhabitable. Search and rescue efforts are still underway in Louisiana to reach people trapped in those floodwaters. The Louisiana National Guard launched Black Hawk helicopters early today to join search and rescue missions. Before and after security camera footage at Fire Station 12 in Delacroix shows how rapidly water rose in the span of just 1 hour.
All of our levees performed extremely well, especially the federal levees. But at the end of the day, the storm surge, the rain, the wind, all had devastating impacts across southeast Louisiana.
President Biden is pledging federal help with more than 5,000 members of the National Guard being activated from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Texas.
Now to get a closer look at where the storm is right now, let's turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on the backyard patio. Gary?
Eric, you know, one thing people need to realize, especially in a hurricane, we talk about Category 4, Category 5. We're talking about the wind speeds, but more people die from the water in hurricanes, the flood surge, storm surge, as well as flooding from the heavy rains. And take a look at the precipitation from Ida as it moved inland into parts of Louisiana and Mississippi. Many areas received over a foot of rain, and now the remnants of Ida, the tropical storm, moving through the central portion of Mississippi, heading into Alabama and Tennessee. Remember the area west of Nashville, around Waverly, got hit with that tremendous flash flooding and loss of life just a couple of weeks ago. Well, now more rain heading in that same general direction, and flash flood watches extend from the Gulf Coast all the way up into New England as the remnants of Ida will continue to head off toward the northeast and toward the New York City and Washington, D.C. area. That kind of puts our weather in perspective to be very nice. In fact, very quiet across much of the Midwest, very little rain anywhere. You can see future track precipitation showing almost no rain expected over the next couple of days. As we look at visible cloud track, it's hard to generate rain when you don't have any clouds, and it's been a sunny day today. Those temperatures are comfortably warm. 82 right now in Madison, 84 in Janesville, some upper 70s 70s to lower 80s. The dew point temperatures have dropped into the lower 50s, so the air much more comfortable. Look for an overnight low temperature of about 58. Tomorrow should be a partly sunny and mild day with high temperatures around 78 degrees. And the weather looks pretty quiet for the next couple of days before the Labor Day weekend. I'll have more on the weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thanks. And tonight we're also talking with the American Red Cross. They say a few people from Wisconsin are already down along the Gulf Coast helping out there, and 2 of them actually went down ahead of landfall yesterday. We'll hear from the Red Cross and how Wisconsin folks are playing a role. That's coming up next hour. News 3 Now at 6.
To our coronavirus headlines now. Wisconsin's 7-day average of new COVID-19 cases continues to climb, reaching nearly 1,700 cases per day. The State Department of Health Services says that is the highest average since January. In less than a half hour, the Madison School Board will meet to talk about mandatory COVID-19 vaccinations for staff.
Well, it would be the first step in making Madison one of the first in the state to set that kind of requirement. Madeline O'Neill tells us what to expect from tonight and how soon this could come about. Maddie?
Right. Well, at 5:30, we'll be listening in on a special school board meeting talking about a mandatory staff vaccine resolution. I just spoke to a board member who's cautiously optimistic it passes. Now, the resolution asks that district administrators come up with a plan to verify employee vaccination status and provide testing for those who aren't vaccinated. The resolution does ask to allow for exemptions, waivers for medical or religious reasons. In making the plan, the resolution also requests administration work with Madison Teachers Inc., MTI, the teachers union, which just came out today in support of a vaccine requirement for teachers and staff. MMSD's superintendent said late last week he supports it too, along with a number of state lawmakers. The resolution asks that administration have this plan ready by September 20th so the regular board can vote on it by September 27th. We'll be following this meeting and bringing you the latest on News 3 Now and channel3000.com.
I'll be watching closely. Maddie, thank you. For the first time since the winter, the U.S. has reached 100,000 hospitalizations for coronavirus, an increase of nearly 500% in just the past 2 months. Hospitals are struggling to keep up with the caseload. The U.S. now averaging 156,000 new daily cases of COVID-19. In Portland, Oregon, 300 National Guard members are on duty to help hospital staff. More than 16,000 patients are hospitalized down in Florida, the most of any state. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis said he will appeal a judge's ruling that overturned his ban on mask mandates for schools.
Ultimately, we're just trying to stand with the parents. A lot of parents, they know their kid in terms of the health. Parents' Bill of Rights has said this is your right here.
The U.S. Department of Education announced it is investigating 5 Republican-led states with universal mask bans, saying the policies could be discriminatory towards students with health conditions or disabilities. Nationwide, 180,000 children tested positive during the week of August 12th.
Just as many Americans were getting used to vacationing and traveling freely this summer, the European Union is cracking down. Today, the bloc reinstated COVID travel restrictions on the U.S. and 5 other countries. Those measures include quarantine and testing requirements for unvaccinated travelers, as well as a halt on all non-essential travel. Right now, doctors are encouraging people to get their COVID vaccines and their flu shots. Last season, UW Health reported just 1 confirmed case of the flu, but they're looking ahead to this season as a potentially confusing one. As Christina Laurie explains, many flu symptoms look just like COVID.
Fever, fatigue, shortness of breath, and a cough. Is it the flu or COVID?
We're seeing a fair amount of upper respiratory viruses as well right now.
The flu virus isn't officially in Dane County yet, but once it does arrive, usually mid-October, doctors warn many of the symptoms are the same as COVID, which is why this flu season they'll be testing for both. While there's no foolproof way to diagnose yourself, you can protect yourself and get vaccinated against COVID and the flu even on the same day. Local hospitals like SSM are offering both shots at their clinics this fall. And local pharmacy chains like Hy-Vee are allowing pharmacists to administer both doses during the same visit. You'll just get them in separate arms.
Anytime you can combine vaccines, you see it happen in little kids right at the pediatrician's office. They'll combine as many vaccines as they can. And it does make it more efficient.
Next year, the shots could become even more efficient and be combined into one. That's something several companies are currently working on, and we'll explain more at 6. Reporting in Madison, Christina Laurie, News 3 Now.
Both the flu shot and the COVID vaccine are free through most insurance companies. You can schedule your shot today at the link on our website, channel3000.com.
Next at 5, as we mentioned earlier, the U.S. has now completed its withdrawal from Afghanistan, ending America's longest war in military history. In the final hours, as many as 5 rockets were launched targeting Kabul's airport by Islamic militants. Though unsuccessful, defense officials say the threat level remains high. The overnight rocket attempts were either shot down or failed to reach their targets. Comes one day after the U.S. conducted an airstrike against an ISIS-K vehicle filled with explosives near the airport.
This strike prevented a high-profile attack against both, coalition U.S. forces and other Afghan civilians.
Now, the Pentagon is investigating reports of possible civilian casualties from the drone strike ahead of tomorrow's August 31st withdrawal deadline. The administration says more than 122,000 people were evacuated from Afghanistan, including at least 5,400 Americans. Many of the Afghan refugees are coming here with nothing more than the clothes on their backs.
There are more and more ways popping up on how you can help the refugees staying at Fort McCoy. Jamie Perez joins us now with some of the organizations that are stepping in to help. Jamie?
Well, Fort McCoy has more than a dozen non-governmental organizations partnering with state services to help coordinate these donation and volunteer efforts. Now, those include the American Red Cross of Wisconsin, International Rescue Committee, United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, Catholic Charities of the Diocese of La Crosse, and Team Rubicon. I actually got a chance to speak with Team Rubicon today about their efforts.
Team Rubicon is a unique organization that we are military veteran founded and led. So we have a very special place in our hearts for the Afghan people. So we really saw this as an opportunity to connect those of our members who had military service with the Afghan people and really, close that loop and get that connection made again.
There are a number of ways you can help, whether that's through volunteering, donating money on their websites, or purchasing items they need off their Amazon Smile or Target registry. And we have all of their contact information and ways that you can donate on our website at channel3000.com, plus links to those registries if you would like to help.
Jamie, thank you. Governor Tony Evers is criticizing a plan to use $680,000 in taxpayer money to fund a 2020 presidential election probe, calling the expenditure, quote, outrageous. He accused Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos of, quote, drinking the Kool-Aid after meeting with Donald Trump and continuing to push his conspiracy theories.
Traffic note tonight, daily lane closures on parts of the Beltline are expected to impact some drivers' commutes this week. Daily closures are scheduled 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. started today. Will run through Wednesday on the eastbound Beltline between Verona and Fish Hatchery Roads. And the Todd Drive ramp to the eastbound Beltline will also be closed during those times. Now, nightly closures. Westbound side of the Beltline also scheduled for tonight and tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. and also Sunday, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. This is all part of the ongoing Flex Lane project. For more information, head to channel3000.com. It's still ahead at 5. A look ahead at our certified most accurate forecast for the week ahead.
But first, how a Madison repair shop says it's trying to get a jump on catalytic converter thieves.
The next results to start the week on Wall Street. The Dow falling 56 points. The Nasdaq jumps more than 136. S&P adds 19. We'll be right back.
One of our biggest furniture events of the year, the Labor Day sale at Slumberland. Take an additional 25% off our already low prices.
Well, hello, Slumberland.
Get your look for less at the huge Labor Day sale at Slumberland.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth? Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there, and I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. morning.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I use the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth this Labor Day by ordering power swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Incredible savings on mattresses during our Labor Day sale now at Slumberland. Sealy Posturepedic all on sale, starting as low as $4.99. And we're one of the only stores reducing waste through our mattress recycle programs. Shop now at Slumberland.
Madison schools tackle racism through a new approach to its curriculum.
What we have been teaching our students doesn't tell the full truth from different perspectives.
Chris Stanford shows you what the plan will look like in your child's classroom. Tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Tuesday on News 3 Now this morning, we are checking out a brand new aviation museum opening up in the 608.
And a beautiful stretch of weather is ahead. But what about this weekend's Badger game? We'll see you from 4:30 to 7 on News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, imagine walking out to your car and finding there is a section of your exhaust system missing. Well, that's happening more often around Madison this year than in years past.
That's why a Madison repair shop says it's trying to get a jump on catalytic converter thieves. But even this idea comes with a word of advice. Our Brad Hamilton is live tonight to explain. Brad?
Well, this auto shop says it's going to take your factory-made catalytic converter and replace it with an aftermarket version, which just means that it's a much cheaper version of what you probably have in your car, especially if you have a Toyota Prius. Now, we did get to talk to some other auto body shops to say, though, this could be a proactive approach for owners now wanting their converter stolen. You have to be wary because this cheaper material could just lead to more headaches down the road.
You know, kind of upset. I work hard and I don't expect anybody to steal my stuff.
Surveillance videos such as this one have become a norm in Madison. It shows a thief on the move looking for a certain crime of opportunity. In this case, J.C. Brooks says someone stole his catalytic converter and was gone without a trace.
That's my work truck, so to me it's everything. It's the workhorse that backs everything I do. Without being able to use it, it really stops everything that I can do momentarily until I can fix it.
Brooks isn't alone. In Madison, MPD reports nearly 300 such thefts in 2001 through August 10th. The catalytic converter is a valuable device which essentially cleans up your car's exhaust before it's released. It also happens to be made from an extremely valuable metal, which oftentimes is stolen and sold for profit.
Especially with COVID, like, people are broke and you're going to go steal this car. I mean, I get it, you're making money, but you just cost this family like $1,000 that most of those people don't have.
Frustrated by the thievery, NRG automotive owner Nathan Gregorius decided to get proactive. He's offering folks a deal in which he will replace your valuable converter for a much cheaper option and then split the profit he makes from selling the converter 50-50 with his customer.
You're walking out the door with $600 to $800 in your pocket and you have a converter on your car that is not worth stealing. It's worth like $40 if they steal it.
But this innovative idea is one he wishes he didn't have to use and is hoping these thieves are held responsible for their actions. Just so that you can get a gauge at how much these things can actually be worth, a catalytic converter that has come into one of these repair shops here has gone for at least $1,000, according to Gregorius, and other auto body shops also confirmed that number for us. So reporting live tonight in Madison, Brad Hamilton, News 3 Now.
All right, Brad, thanks. And there are some ways to help prevent these thefts from happening in the first place. A few ideas from the experts. Well, to start, if possible, park inside. If that's not possible, install motion sensor lights to ward off any would-be thieves. The Insurance Crime Bureau also suggests engraving your VIN on your car's catalytic converter. You may want to cover your converter with a high-temperature fluorescent paint as well. That makes it traceable and less attractive to scrap metal dealers.
Let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather now. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti has the forecast. Gary?
Well, Susan, we talked about the heavy rain that hit the Gulf Coast region with Hurricane Ida. There are parts of the Midwest that really had a lot of rain over the last few days, especially late last week. Parts of Iowa received about a foot of rain in the north central portion of the state. Many areas about 4 to 8 inches west of the Mississippi River, about 3 to 5 inches in the parts of Vernon and Crawford County. But as usual with summertime thunderstorms, there were the haves and the have-nots. Some areas, way too much. To the south and east of Madison, way too little. Some areas had very little rain, depending on where the thunderstorms rolled on through. And if we widen out the view, you can see right now things very quiet across our part of the Midwest. A couple of thunderstorms in South Dakota are the nearest storms, and those will stay to our south and to our west over the next couple of days. Now, as we look at future track precipitation, not expecting anything through Thursday, and then some shower and thunderstorm chances perhaps Friday, and then again Tuesday would be the best chances, and just slight chances on Saturday and Sunday. Not bringing a lot of rain, probably about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain generally across southern Wisconsin according to the Future Track computer models, and that's just not helping the drought situations. I mean, again, those areas that received way too much rain, they're starting to improve, but still much of southern Wisconsin from Madison southward technically in a moderate drought, and that's because if you take a look at the precipitation totals month to date for the month of August, and we're almost done with that, and we won't get any rain tomorrow, we're already close to an inch below normal. Since the start of meteorological May on June 1st, we're down at almost 4.5 inches of rain compared to normal, and since the start of the year, we're still down 10 inches compared to normal. So again, even though we've had pockets of heavy rain, it's still technically a drought across southern Wisconsin, and that dry weather will continue through Thursday. And 3 things you need to know. We are looking for mild weather, though, with pleasant conditions, highs in the upper 70s to around 80 through pretty much all of next week. And there will be some thunderstorm chances again Friday, a chance on Sunday, maybe a slight chance on Saturday, but Labor Day Monday should be dry. Ida, now a tropical depression centered over central Mississippi, moving to the north-northeast at 9 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds at 35 miles per hour. The forecast from the National Hurricane Center brings it right over central Tennessee, with heavy rain continuing all the way up into New England, and much of this area, as we showed you earlier, under flash flood watches. So again, fortunately, that's staying to our south. The good news for us is usually when there's a tropical weather system to the south, our weather stays quiet at least for a couple of days. Tomorrow, partly sunny, mild, high temperature at 78 degrees. And the 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures, like I said, upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. Best chances of thunderstorms probably Friday and Tuesday. Labor Day should be dry. Saturday and Sunday, iffy chances for rain, meaning most of the time it won't be raining. As we check out first warn traffic, right now not a bad day on the Beltline, even though we've got construction going on. Right now we were seeing just a few minor delays on the Beltline. There we go. Mainly in the westbound direction from about Todd Drive back toward Park Street. As far as travel times, about a 15 to 17-minute trip either direction on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990, 16 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 16 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, local, hand-picked Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
Your local Medicare plans have all the bells and whistles that national TV ads promise, only better, because you're working with local agents who know the doctors, the specialists, and the hospital networks inside and out. You're not going to get that calling a call center in Des Moines, Iowa.
Don't get fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and they're free.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
Menards Pet Department has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. IAM's Proactive Health Dog Food gives your dog 100% complete and balanced nutrition. Check out our great selection of IAM's dog food today. Ensure the best for your feathered friends with Enchanted Garden Wild Bird Food. It's blended to attract a wide variety of birds. Save 11% on all pet and bird food. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
When it comes to internet and TV, Spectrum has the competition beat.
Really? Can you keep up with all this?
Yes. With faster download speeds and better performance, Spectrum is the #1 choice for gamers. Switch now with the fastest internet starting speeds for the price. 200 megabits. That's enough speed to game, surf, stream, and more on all your devices. Get Spectrum Internet for $44.99 a month. Call 833-742-4499.
Okay, but what about TV? It's not easy to find something that works for everyone.
Spectrum TV with the free Spectrum TV app lets you watch live sports, local news, and more on your TV and on your devices. And unlike satellite, there's no ugly dish on your roof. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-742-4499.
Too bad I'm in a contract.
Stuck in a contract? Spectrum will buy it out up to $500.
Seriously?
And you won't have to sign a new one. Don't wait. Switch today.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yes! Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-742-4499.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. Drivers can again expect to see the prices at the pump go up.
According to AAA, the national average is currently $3.15. An executive with Gas Buddy, a fuel savings app, says he expects gas prices to increase between 5 to 15 cents per gallon because of Hurricane Ida. The storm halted about 96% of the oil production in the Gulf of Mexico. Coffee prices are at their highest level in years. Futures for Robusta coffee have jumped more than $2,000 per metric ton. That is the coffee that is often used to make espresso. Analysts point to bad weather in Brazil, which is the largest coffee producer in the world. Brazil was hit with a bad drought this year, followed by a frost.
Walt Disney World resuming its annual pass holder program starting September 8th. The theme park offering 4 new options starting at $400, and each annual pass can be customized to include add-on experiences like water parks and photo pass downloads. Current pass holders do have the option to renew to these new passes at a special price. Airline travel might be hitting yet another slump. A new report has found online bookings declined in July. Adobe Analytics says consumers spent more than $5 billion booking domestic flights online last month. That's a 16% drop from 2019. A big reversal from June when Adobe reported flight bookings were nearly back to pre-pandemic levels. Adobe says the change is because of the coronavirus Delta variant.
A final check on your first warn forecast when we come back.
High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. You can still enjoy our award-winning steak dinners with our new takeout and delivery service. We call it the High Point Steakout. Call in your order today.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopco Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopco Optical. You'll see. Right now, get 50% off lenses with the purchase of any frames.
Since 1976, Feldco stood the test of time.
It's Feldco's 45th anniversary! Time to get
down. To celebrate Feldco's 45th anniversary, get 45% off windows today. That's cause for a celebration.
45% off windows ends Labor Day. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
I was just a kid when I first went with my dad on a job. I was replacing windows back when long hair was in. And by the time I took over for my dad, I had a little bit less on my head and a lot more on my face. Look at that stash. Wow. I'm Scott the Window Guy from AHT Wisconsin Windows. The times sure have changed, but our quality hasn't. Get triple pane for the price of double at scottthewindowguy.com. Did Scott the Window Guy wear a powder blue tux to his wedding? You bet your glass he did.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Republicans in Congress are working for the richest 1%. They got caught red-handed blocking economic relief for working people just to protect tax loopholes for the ultra-wealthy. Billionaires so rich, they shoot money into space while they dodge their taxes. Ron Johnson doesn't want the 1% to pay their fair share because he's one of them. It's time to build a stronger economy. MoveOn.org. Political action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Introducing Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. New luxury apartments for seniors 55 plus. Professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Brenna today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. You can still enjoy our award-winning steak dinners with our new takeout and delivery service. We call it the High Point Steakout. Call in your order today.
A lot of news to cover tonight. Catastrophic devastation in Louisiana after Hurricane Ida slams into the Gulf Coast. More than 1 million without power, and why the worst of the flooding might still be yet to come. Plus, America's longest war comes to an end after the U.S. completely withdraws from Afghanistan. But what about the hundreds of Americans left behind? The CBS Evening News is just minutes away.
Let's go back to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Looking very nice out there. Take a look at this live view from the Edgewater Skycam. That's the kind of picture you want to see. Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam also showing bright sunshine. Temperatures right now, upper 70s to the lower to middle 80s. Warm spot is Janesville at 84, but notice the dew point temperatures in the 50s. That means the air has dried out considerably since late last week. Look for a low tonight, 59, high tomorrow, 78 with partly sunny skies. More of the same expected for Wednesday and Thursday. Some thunderstorm chances Friday, a slight chance Saturday, a chance Sunday. Labor Day should be dry, and then another chance Tuesday. After that, nice temperatures.
All right, Gary, thanks. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.